Hello my dears, this is your favorite purple lady, Amethyst Lady. I'm back with another video. Today we're going to look at Relentless Studios' new game, Crucible. Are you looking to pick up Bugg? In this video, out of all the characters, I'm going to focus on giving you some tips to play Bugg. These are going to be 10 tips to help you live your best Bugg life. Before we begin, if you find yourself enjoying this video, make sure that you click the thumbs up, leave a comment below, and click that subscribe button along with the bell so you don't miss out on any other awesome gaming content. Let's get right into it. I have played many hours of Bugg. Pretty much I am a Bugg main. I play Heart of the Hives a lot. So many of these tips are compiled from all of that experience. If you'd like to see examples of my Bugg play, you can find videos on this YouTube channel, but I also stream on Twitch, so you can definitely check that out as well when I'm live, or check the VODs and the highlights. Tip number 1 is that your teammates can be great distractions. Your teammates make things so much easier. Don't be afraid to rely on them to gain the upper hand in a fight. For Bugg particularly, a shield burst on a teammate that the enemy is focusing on can give you extra time to rain down your crop dust or primary fire on the enemy, or provide precious seconds you need to set up that extra seed pod. Do your best to keep tabs on your allied hunters in team fights to find that perfect opportunity to turn the tide in your favor. Tip number 2 is to use the crop dust to help you with tanky hunters. Hunters such as Drac and Earl can have a much harder time dealing with damage if they've come into contact with your crop dust. It does persistent damage over time, so you want to utilize this to make killing them easier. Tip number 3 is your shield burst gives you a small push, so use it as a movement boost if necessary. Shield burst can not only provide an overshield, but it can also be used to propel you a little bit further, especially when combined with your thrusters. This can be used offensively to set up a seed pod ahead of your retreating enemy, or defensively to help make your own retreat more successful. My 4th tip is when flying, you can use your thrusters to juke if you're being targeted. There is a meter that appears when you use your thrusters that decreases when they are in use and increases when not in use. Since Bugg can move the same speed in all directions regardless of how he is facing, this makes it very easy to change direction in midair as long as your thruster's bar isn't below the threshold line. If your thruster bar is below the threshold line, that means you will have to wait for the bar to recover before your thrusters will fire again. Use this knowledge to change directions when flying if you need to avoid taking shots. These erratic movements can save your life. Tip number 5 is to cover your retreat with crop dust and seed pods. If you are being pursued, use your crop dust and seed pods to discourage being followed. You might not want to use both unless you absolutely have to, such as if a whole team is following you as opposed to just one hunter. For tip number 6, you should aim to place your seed pods in hard to see places. This can include on the edges of cliffs, around entryways, even on the inside of structures. You want people to get zapped for as long as possible to do maximum damage. Be creative. Tip number 7 is don't be afraid to toss out a seed pod to scout ahead if you don't feel safe. In hard to see situations, when you're not confident in taking test shots or face checking a potentially hazardous area, toss out a seed pod. Whatever interactions occur can sometimes give you all the data you need to make a decision on what to do next. For instance, If your seed pod decreases in health, you know something is attacking it, and judging by the sounds, it is either the local wildlife or an enemy hunter. Observe after dispatching a seed pod and act accordingly. For tip number 8, you can use your crop dust to cut off the opponent and try to herd them into your seed pod traps. If you are afraid of an enemy hunter getting away, try cutting off their travel path with crop dust. Sometimes this works to direct them back into a situation that is more advantageous for you, such as into your seed pods or into your allies. Tip number 9 is you can use your thrusters to go straight up in the air to survey the area if you need to. I like doing this to get data about the area around me. Granted, you can use the detect feature, but sometimes this works better, such as when you can't tell using detect if it is local wildlife or hunters in the area. The altitude can also help when you need to toss out a seed pod a little further defensively to help a teammate. Tip number 10 is your normal shots have a little bit of a splash area around the hit. While it is better to get direct hits on enemies with your gun, it isn't the easiest thing to aim. So if you at least hit the enemy with the splash zone of the projectile your gun shoots out, it will still do damage, just not as much. Use the training mode to get used to the range so you can at least hit with the splash zone at the very least. I hope these 10 tips to playing Bugg will help you for all modes of Crucible. If you have any other tips, I'd love to see them in the comments. Enough tips might warrant a part 2. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you click the like button, leave a comment, and click that subscribe button along with the bell. Don't miss any other awesome gaming content from this channel. We are 1 million views strong. Take care, my dears. Bye.